Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Strategy Vault Live.
Yes. Sorry for my little camera issue. I'm Felix,
I'm Gio.
and it's Wednesday, so we're focused on winning. How to adopt a champion's mindset. So come on down,
Come on down and let's crack
crack
open the
open the
vault.
vault.
Before we dive into today's segment, Felix, if you can get that visual up on the board, we're going to start with our first sponsor,
Yes,
Stratégie Conseil, over
strategy
here.
conseil. Ever feel like your business is stuck on the treadmill, running in place? At Stratégie Conseil, we take you off the treadmill and put you on a rocket. Forget hiring an army of consultants, the agencies, employees. Our team streamlines your sales process and automates your workflows so you can scale smarter, not harder, internally.
You guys
Instead
partner
of
up with Elon
external.
Musk?
You guys are yeah. Elon Musk has helped us with the liftoff. Head over to stratégieconseil.ca and watch your business take off, guys. All right, today we're talking about fear, one of my favorite subject, because it often signals growth. It often signals progress. How it can be also a false alarm. So if you're listening to your fear, um, it could make things worse. Then I often compare this to looking down when you're going up up the ladder and you're looking down. It always makes things worse. It
Let's talk
always
a little bit of, before we dive into those questions, just a little, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it a history lesson or if we go back, why we have, why do we have fear, and why do we have that response, the fear response? It's for survival. The only
yeah, I
reason we
remember
have
that.
fear is for survival. Like back then when our ancestors were chasing down lions and hunting, and we needed that fear in order to survive. But now when we live in a society of abundance and we have everything we need and it's relatively safe, right? I'm not going to say it's 100% safe, but having fear now is less applicable than it was back then, in the times where we really had to survive out there, And I think that we're overusing fear now.
It's
it's
a
like
false alarm. It's most
it's
of
a
like
false alarm, like stress, anxiety, fear. There's these emotions. I feel like we're not using them properly anymore, and we're not using them as tools for survival. We're using them, you know,
mm,
in my opinion, the wrong way. It's a tool for survival, right? And now we're not. We live in a society of
playing tricks.
abundance. We
It's
live in
playing tricks on you.
It's playing
It's
tricks
basically
on us. It's playing tricks on us. We're not really, for and I don't know if I want to tell you now or after, but obviously I want to share my story of moving countries, and
mm,
doing these big steps in my life because they're hard, because they make me fearful, is why I do certain things now. Because I know that in that realm of having fear is where you grow all the time. If you don't have fear, it means you're not pushing yourself. It means you're not leaving your comfort zone. It means you're never going to grow. You're never going to get to the next level. It's the same thing
interesting.
when it comes to financial risk. When you invest your money, you have to have some kind of level of risk in order for for a reward to come back to you. So
Interesting. I want to dive into the questions because I feel like in these questions we're gonna answer some of these things. I just want to start asking these questions because I feel like they're gonna be very interesting. George, you want to start?
sure. Question number one, Fel. What's a time in your life when fear actually pushed you forward instead of holding you back?
You want to know the first time it happened to me? The first time when fear literally pushed me forward was when you actually you didn't call me. You told me come on Monday. You were working at this call center and you said come on Monday. and I was terrified. I remember spending the
Oh
whole
yeah.
weekend being literally actually I was looking for other jobs. I was trying to look for alternatives. I was trying to find like some other places, because I was fearful of going into an first it was an English environment.
Hmm.
I was speaking English, but I was not work fluent. Like I was not ready for this.
It was
I
your
was
first sales
scared.
job. It was your first sales job. You had to like perform in front of people, and
Yeah,
it's pretty tough. Yeah, for sure.
performance like, but I had it worse in my head than it actually was, because as soon as I stepped in,
Always like that though.
guys were super
It's always like that. Fear is in your head. It's actually in your head. Like what like after you overcome that, like after you overcame and you did those first couple sales calls, how good did you feel? Like
oh
it's
my
it's like
god.
that when it comes to fear. It's always at the other end when you go through it, bro. The feeling is insane, and it's
I
always
felt
the
so
same.
powerful. I wanted to show that to all my friends. Like I wanted all my friends to experience
Whether
the
your
same
call
thing.
was successful or not, like what you did your call, you were fearful, but even though you didn't like close the client or whatever, you still had this sense of like accomplishment. Like, man, I I fucking did it. I did it. I didn't want to do it. I did it, and now I feel amazing.
I think I
And
did my
every
first
single time you
appointment
go
on the
across like a
same day though.
discomfort,
So of course,
sorry,
like it helped. I think I did my appointment on the first day or something like that. So it helped because it was like I didn't
for
have to like
sure,
face like rejection for 7 days and then
yeah.
get my first sale. I had appointments in the first few hours, so that helped. So you need a win, you need the W to like help you like get on the channel, and after that it was over, man. I stayed like in sales for the rest of my life basically, but like
Yeah.
actually working for someone else, I stayed in sales for like 8 years
Like
after
you would
that.
have never know you would have never knew you liked sales if you didn't take that step.
No,
If
my
you didn't take
career
that step
was
and overcome your fear doing sales call in front of people, it's a bit like,
cold
what are they
calls.
gonna think of me? You know?
Yeah, and being listened to and having like people telling you, hey, this call you didn't do well. And I could not figure, if you would have tell me, hey, there's someone listening to you and you have to do like good, like it's all in
Yeah, you
the
get
way
nervous,
you
bro. You
presented
get
things.
like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, for sure. You're under pressure and shit. You get nervous. You're like, oh, people are watching me. But that's what feels so fucking good. Like, and
Yeah.
now that's how I choose to live my life now. Like, whenever I'm faced with a situation where it's like it's an uncomfortable situation. There's like it's a fearful situation. I look at it like, okay, nice. Like it's weird, and weirdly enough, it's like,
Mm,
oh, nice. Like I'm gonna get a good feeling after I get through this. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
You still get that uncomfortable feeling, but it's like, yeah, let's fucking head first. Let's go. Let's do it. Because I know that once I finish this, I'm gonna be happy after. I'm gonna be glad that I did it.
I'm still scared of some things. Like I'm still scared of like jumping off a plane, bro.
Oh,
Like
bro.
this is something that,
There's like
oh
one
man.
accident that happens out of like 1,000 skydiving, and I feel that I'm gonna be the one that's gonna jump, and the person didn't pack the chute properly, and I'm gonna be that one person. I have this fucking fear. We
This is
should
something
fucking
that
go. We should go
ah
skydiving, bro. Just because.
we'll wait. If we get okay, bro, I don't want to say something and then I regret it. If we get like I was about to say if we get 1,000 subscribers, I was like, no, not at 1,000, not at 1,000. Maybe that at 10,000 subscribers I'll go
No, no,
and
no.
jump off a
A
plane.
thousand subscribers. 1,000 subscribers. We go skydiving. We film it and we post it on our channel.
Oh my god. Okay. I'll think about that
A,
statement.
thou- a
Maybe,
thousand
maybe.
subs.
You know what? 1,000 subscribers. You really think so? We should do it. Okay. 1,000 subscribers is like it's not even 10x. I would say 3K. We have like 33 subscribers, something like that. We're still a
Bro,
young
a
channel.
thousand is like that's like times. Bro, 100x will be at
At 10K I
what's
go.
30 times?
At 10K I go.
My math skills are horrible right now.
I
Well, times
honestly at
10x
10K
times
I go.
10x is 300. So you need like a 25x, bro. It's good. It's good. 1,000 and we go skydiving and we film it for the channel. I'm gonna be fucking screaming. And you know what? It's like I know once we're done, it's gonna be like a cool experience. It's gonna be like a fun experience.
Let's head over to the next question. People say fear stands for false events appearing real. False events appearing real.
I have a better one for you.
Does that ring true in your experience?
I have a better one for you. Fear stands for face everything. Wait, was it face everything and no, not face everything and run. What was it? It was face everything
Face
or run.
everything.
No, that doesn't make sense.
No, and run. Stands for false events appearing real. To me, it's
False
true
events
because of what I
appearing
said
real.
like earlier. Like, going to the call center was not that deep. Like, it was not that hard. When I first stepped in, you guys were super helpful. They've sat like the way I imagined this was like, no, you can't speak to your friend and like sit down there and do the calls like in the movies. I was super scared of just like being on my own and like having to do these calls and having to perform with all these charts and stats, and it's not like that. Like, of course you have to perform, of course it's a performance based job, but
What was that fucking acronym that I
there's
was thinking
it's
about? I was thinking
human,
about
it's
an
way more
acronym.
human.
Fear acronym. I'm sorry, bro. This is on the tip of my tongue right now. Yeah, you're right. It's false evidence appearing real. There was another one though.
I don't know the other one.
Forget everything and run.
Forget
everything and
everything
run.
and run. I don't like that one. I really prefer the other one. Run. Why run?
Because that's what fear stands for. When you're fear, you just.
Oh,
I like yours.
forget
I like yours
everything and
better.
run. Oh, now I understand. Okay, I get it.
I like yours better too because the other one has a negative connotation. It's
Yeah.
like I don't want to run away from my fear. I want to face it. So I like yours better. False evidence appearing real is one that I'd rather go by. Kev says best feeling ever skydiving. I know Kev. Well, I know Kev. I mean, I could imagine Kev. I know Kev. I do it all the time.
Yeah, Kev did it. Kev went through his fear of doing that. That's crazy. My question to Kev would be: Est-ce que Kev, est-ce que ça t'a permis? Did it like? Est-ce que ça t'a permis de faire face à tes peurs d'une façon différente? Like, if you could translate.
Yeah. Did it make you? Did skydiving make you confront other problems in your life differently?
Other fears.
Like other fears in your life because you went skydiving. Did it help with business, life, relationships?
Tes autres peurs, tes affrontes-tu différemment?
Ouais,
T'as-tu le goût de plus les affronter? That would be my question to Kev, or to anyone who skydive, because...
Well, I would have to say yes, because when you face your fears, your other fears become like more of because you get experience. When you face your fear, you gain experience and you gain wisdom. And the wisdom that you gain is like, okay, well, I faced my fear and I feel better now. And I no longer fear that and I feel better. So that applies to all fears now. So now when you're confronted with other fears, you're like, hey, well, it's not a stranger to me now. I know what this is. This is a fear, and I'm gonna go through it like I did with the other ones, and I'm gonna feel like a champion afterwards. So
C'est vrai.
I'll let
vrai.
Kev say it. Moving on to the next one. Have you ever hesitated on big opportunity only to realize later that it was fear talking? Have you ever hesitated on a big opportunity?
Yeah, definitely. That was my whole upbringing. Like, that was my whole upbringing. When I was young, all these other kids, they were going to sports. My dad, he was like, "Hey, you wanna get to sport?" I was scared, man. I was scared as a kid. My whole upbringing, I was a little scared kid. I remember my brother being a lot less fearful than me. My little brother. I was scared of getting hurt. I was scared of a bunch of things. I found myself going through pushing through my fears through individual sport when I got older. But when I was young, I was super scared of like hurting myself. I was scared, man. I was a scared kid. That's why me facing my fear was really jobless at 18 years old. And you told me, bro, stop doing that to yourself. Come work with us on Monday. And it's the first time in my entire life that I went through my fears, and I was like, hey. And from there, I never went back. I was like, this is the way. This is the thing you need to do. You need to do stuff that seems hard, that seems impossible, even to the people next to you, because these are the things. Like, bro, I was making, by 4 years later, I was making like $50,000 a year in payment processing. I was super happy, and we were young.
Yeah, it was good money back then, huh?
It was really good money for young kids like us on the phone, chit chatting with entrepreneurs, so gathering all that good information about how these entrepreneurs are doing transactions and their point of sales and all that stuff. If you're really thinking about it, was a good school. So it went like I had to go through one fear, the fear of talking to people on the phone, of talking to other, like, no, it's not true. I had to go through a multiple fears. Talking to people in English. I was able to talk to friends, but talking to a boss in English and express myself and having to do that fluently on a daily basis, I was scared of that. Going to like downtown every day, it was big for me. It was a big thing.
So Kev says, I'm going to translate it to English, but Kev says, well, c'est juste de foncer. So it's just to dive through your fears. And it's possible, even if you're scared, it's possible. And you discover an exceptional feeling. Because vu que t'as peur,
tu peux pas t'imaginer le good
feeling. Yeah, when you're scared, you can't really imagine the good feeling. But then when you just dive right through it, like Michael Phelps dives through the water, you feel exceptional. Yeah, I agree, Kev. 100%. That's what it's all about, man.
100%.
Next question, Phil. Next question.
Do you think there's a difference between healthy fear that challenges us and crippling fear that stops us?
Do you think there's a healthy fear?
Do you think there's a difference between healthy fear that challenges us and crippling fear that stops us?
Like, the only type of healthy fear that I could see is the type that actually, like, helps you from escaping danger. If fear is used, like, for example, there's a bear chasing you in the forest. If you use that fear to escape the bear's wrath, in that case, that's a healthy fear, right? Because it saved your life. But if you're going to use a fear to overthink, to sit down and overthink and not take action, then that's a crippling type of fear. So, like I said at the beginning of the live, like, I feel like in our fear was more applicable. I'm not saying it's not applicable today. Like, there's still dangers out there, but in our ancestors' days, when they had to hunt and they had to, be in the wilderness and they had to survive, this is the type of fear that was more applicable. But nowadays, fear is not, I think, is not being used beneficially. It's used in overthinking and creating negative scenarios in our head.
Financial fear
type of way.
People are living way more like some type of financial fear, financial pressure than ever. Stats are saying that, So I feel like people are more and more living from paycheck to paycheck. So they live financial fear. They live financial pressure. How can I get out of it?
But like having a clear picture, I guess, helps. Like having a clear financial picture and budgeting.
In my opinion, like there's a lot of things that people are underestimating in terms of like
people are fearing the economy. Like right now with Donald Trump, the thing with Donald Trump with the tariffs and stuff like that, people are having fears, and rightfully so, right? They have families to feed. They're like, it's a tough time, right? Like,
But really, people are underestimating the amount of actions that they could take to
of course,
counter that or market themselves or like put videos of like your if you have Barbie toys, and like I was thinking about all the toys that we have downstairs, and I was like, hey man, like there's definitely something. My little 3-year-old, they all love watching YouTube and consuming that YouTube, and they get bored of it at one point. They're like, I already watched this one. I already watched it. You know what? You're going to start creating your own things. You have toys. You're going to go downstairs. We're going to start like your own little creating setup. Like, I'm going to be able to create my own video. Yeah, you're going to create your own videos. So you put them on stuff like, I feel like sometimes it's all about underestimating the amount of things that you could do with no dollars and the time that you have available for yourself. You could do your you could definitely do something. Um, um, Financial fear, you beat that. You, you
By
can't
taking
beat
action.
fire with fire. Like in that case, if you don't have money, you can't beat money with money, right? Like you don't have the money. You're gonna need to beat that fear of like, oh, how we're gonna have to step down. We're gonna have to sell the house. No, you're not gonna have to sell the house. You're gonna have to do more. You're gonna have to sit down,
Look,
stop talking.
who am I to go up to somebody and give them shit for having fear about, for example, like the Trump tariffs, right? Let's talk about that for a second because it's relevant. People are having fear of this, right? You can have fear for it, but also taking action and doing something about it.
Mm.
But if you're just going to be paralyzed and sitting down and not doing anything and just complaining, then there's
Big corporations are taking actions because of what's happening right now.
You should. Everybody should.
They're
If it's
taking
affecting
actions
you
right
in
now.
some way, you should be taking.
They're talking to European companies and
But
distributors.
instead of sitting there and just Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, my government this, Trudeau that, and I'm a bit guilty of that too. Sometimes I rip my government. Okay,
we all do.
it's not really
As
changing
we all do.
shit.
Yeah.
It's not changing anything, bro. It's not
It's
changing
not.
anything.
Definitely not.
You lose friends from it. I swear.
You're right. Let's just take a quick second for our second sponsor, George, because we're halfway there, and let's talk
All right.
our friends.
I'm gonna take care of this one.
Uninet.
I'll take care of it. Fel, get me that visual on the board. Yes, you did. Real one. Right, let's fucking go. So, between building your business empire and chasing the next big idea, you don't have time to battle dust bunnies, bro. This is not Rocky 3, okay? You have your business to take care of. That's why Les Entretiens Uninet steps in, okay? They handle every nook and cranny, not the cranberry juice, every nook and crannies from floors to windows, so you can focus on growing your business and not grime. Think of it like a spotless stage for your success. So let them worry about the cleaning while you keep reaching new heights. Go check them out. Their website is there. Their email is there. You can reach them out for a quote. Spring is around the corner. If you guys need to get your windows clean, or if you guys have any cleaning needs, just give them a call for a quote, and they'll set you guys up.
Thank you, George.
Moving on to the next question.
I think it's your turn, George. It's your question.
My turn. All right. Next question. We always hear about taking action quickly. How do you personally beat the urge to procrastinate?
Oh my God, that's a good one. How do you do it? I want to hear you about it, George.
But I asked you the question. Why are you switching it on me? Is it because you don't have an answer for me?
No.
I'm going to repeat the question. We always hear about taking action quickly. How do you personally beat the urge to procrastinate?
I was the king of that. To be honest, I have to be honest with you. Procrastination, and yesterday we were talking about starting right before the deadline. I think it was my worst. The worst thing about me. And the thing I realize is when you create systems, when you realize that you procrastinate about something, it's because you don't like doing something.
Right.
It's either you're scared of the results, and there's some quotes, some big quotes that I was definitely procrastinating. These big quotes were also big opportunities, but doing the quote was also painful because it also requires you to take out. First, it requires you to take hours of your time, and you really need to sit down and think. These are not your regular quotes. You're gonna have to really make a special price and include some special things. I feel like it's a normal human brain thing. When you're able to fight that with systems where you have either your team, or now we have other automations, but either you or your team have something figured out to process the information quicker. What I mean by that is the quotes building process in our company. We transformed it into it used to take more than an hour. We transformed 65, 70 minutes process into 5 minutes. A 5-minute process just to build the skeleton of the like the whole. It's templated. Everything is templated. You click on 2 buttons. You choose a couple drop down fields, and boom, you have your price. And that's something that I've worked on for more than a year. So I worked on a process to stop procrastinate on these big
because it makes it easier. So basically, what you're saying, and I love what you said, you just make it easier for yourself.
Yes.
Make things easier, and you won't procrastinate, and you're gonna actually do it.
You're actually gonna have fun doing it. You need to transform this.
You need to make it fun. Honestly, well said. I can't beat that. I would answer the same way as you.
That's why it's my favorite. That's why I told you it's my favorite. It was my favorite question.
My method is probably going to be different than yours because I don't have a team of employees. I don't have a team you know what I mean? So it's going to be different for everybody. But I understand the premise of what you're saying, which is to template, to have a template in place, like especially for repetitive tasks. Things that are repetitive should not take a lot of mental energy. Yeah. They should not take a lot of mental energy to do their repetitive things every day. Mm-hmm. Find a way to get them done easily.
Yep.
To have like a kind of template. I love that. That's a great answer, Phil. Next question.
When you see successful people, do you think they're fearless or just good at moving forward despite fear? That's a good one. So when you see all these...
I think all those people at some point or another had to face risk to get where they are, and with risk, there's always a little bit of fear that you're not gonna achieve what you're setting yourself out to achieve, right? And a lot of things like there's this page on Instagram that I follow, the School of Hard Knocks, where there's this guy that goes around the world and he interviews wealthy entrepreneurs around the world and asks them questions. And they all have the same thing in common. They all say that they believe in God. Every single one of his interviews, of interviewing all these successful people, how do you do it? And they all say believe in God. God is the answer. So, do they fear? I think those guys will tell you that they just fear. They fear nobody but God. Mm-hmm. In short.
So they have, but. They fear nobody, but they still have fear, though. Having fear in God means a lot of things. It means you fear the sea, you fear the air, you fear the sky, you fear the stars, you fear a little bit of everything that you're not controlling, basically.
What you're not controlling, that you can't control.
That you can't control. So that's pretty interesting. I feel like it's like you can't be fearless. You're still going to have fears. You're still gonna experience fears. It's the way you judo. You do judo with it. Oh, but I just feel like that's something that has hit me once. Like I was like, hey, I don't have to hold on to those fears all day and all week long. There's something that you could do with them is act now on things that you can control so that you leave the rest to what you can control, and basically you leave it to the process. Like you leave it to God, basically. You can try, like you can be a believer or none. Like we're not here to like, but there's always going to be things that you cannot control, and there's always going to be things that you will try. Your brain is, it's like our brains are trying to control or like move water, Wi-Fi, moving water, trying to control things that you can't. And your anxiety comes from things that you're not about to control. You need to let go of that. Once you let go of that, you're like, yeah, I can't control it. If they pay, they pay. They're supposed to pay tonight. If they're not paying tonight, I'm not going to, don't forget to pay. Don't forget to, hey, send me my check. I'm going to pass by. Bro, you're just going to look crazy. They're not going to take you for next spring.
There's great power in not being fearful or or not worrying on stuff you can't control. You know, I think
Just
that there's
act
great power
upon
in that.
stuff that you can control. Yeah. Just
Yeah,
keep
and you
doing
should
your
only
marketing.
you just worry about the stuff you could control, and that stuff you should worry about it because you're like, oh, if I fuck up, like I have a level of control. This I should be able to um, treat it the best way I can. You know,
So you were
but
talking about the fear of Donald Trump, the fear of this, the fear of that.
yeah, exactly.
Like
The
you
fear
still have
of
control over going back to like eating well, going to sleep early,
right.
doing sports, getting oxygen, water,
Yep.
good intake, good friends, good stuff. This is still yours. This is you didn't take any of that. This is still yours to like implement. And I'm like why I say this because you've heard me being a little stressed, like, hey, Donald Trump, he's coming with the tariffs. Nah, 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 nah. I'm stressed out of something that's not there yet. And the markets are like that. The market, stock market reacts based on stuff. A lot of times, you saw yesterday people reacting. People sold their Nvidia stocks because they saw that DeepSeek is like the other company's in, but this other company's down. This is not how it works. Like this is not the people don't understand the mechanics of things.
You're allowed, bro. You can't control the emotions that you feel. Okay, so when you're feeling fear because of things that are out, even if you feel those fears inside, you can't suppress that. It's how you react to it. Like, like a business owner who's like, seeing the tariffs that are coming, has everything on the line. It's normal to feel that. It's we're not fucking God. Like, it's normal to feel that, but it's how we react to those things that make us. What we feel don't make us. It's how we react to it.
What will be the exhaust?
Yeah.
Of your thoughts.
What's going to come out of it?
Yeah. What's going to come out of it? Are you going to like call your European like friends? Hey, I need clients in Europe. We're having problems like with the oh yeah. And you know what? These guys are watching the news. These guys know what's coming. Yeah. You're not gonna have a lot of explaining to do because basically they're gonna wait for you.
Diversifying is a great solution.
Bro, are you
diversifying to Europe is a good solution, bro?
100%.
Smart business move.
But
We should be invested in different economies.
Asia, there's a lot of like, things that
imagine
can be done in Asia, Africa.
And we spoke about setting up in Germany. It's not
I was thinking about that way before this whole thing.
It's a really smart idea, bro, to go there.
But do you remember when I was talking about Germany and I was talking about these other countries where I wanted to go? Yeah. You remember everyone around me was like, "Fel, you serious? Like this is too fast. This is too fast." I was like, "This is too fast, but who cares?" And I wanted to go, like I wanted to go now, but I couldn't.
There should be a kind of a fine line there. When do I go and approach the other markets? Am I in a position to go? You should kind of have some kind of like stability in one market first.
As fast
or not,
as
whatever
possible,
or not. I don't know.
As fast as possible. That would be my answer. As fast as possible. If it was to be redone, Jordan, trust me. Like it was one of the questions. Have you hesitated on a big opportunity only to realize later it was fear talking? So it was not my fear talking. It was the other like. Because if it was only me, I was already gonna be like in Manitoba, Saskatchewan. I was already gonna be like on the road. If it was just my decision, this is a big company. We need to talk. Obviously, like we need to talk with the whole corporate, and I feel like it's like that in most big companies. It's like that. It's hard to move fast. It's a skill. It's a culture. It's a company culture to move fast. And to be able to move fast and take opportunities quick, I feel like you need to take the fear out of the equation. We need to be able to just make mistakes. Yeah. Just do it. Instead of like asking me, hey, should I do it? Like, do you really think like it's a good idea? Like someone else is already doing it. You're losing time. Just try. You'll know. And later on, when you have that bad feedback, whatever, when people say, hey, that was a bad idea, why did you send me that email? Well, now we know. Okay, so now we have that data. Now we know we shouldn't do that and we should be doing something else.
Yep.
So on that note, bro, I have a last message for our friends here because obviously it's almost dinner time. People must be hungry. I don't know if you are George, but there's those days where you just need a little Portuguese magic on your plate. Quinta Restaurants grills up authentic flavors that'll make you forget the hustle. Their dishes are fire-kissed perfection, served with a side of warm hospitality, and maybe a glass of wine if you're into that. So find them at 1851 Ontario East Street in Montreal, or visit aquinta.ca. One bite, and you're already planning your next visit. I promise you. You might even see us there sometime this week. Me and Jordan are going. So
yeah, let's go, bro. Before I head back to Germany,
Yep.
I'm due for a nice quinta
100%.
Portuguese dish with a nice super back. Yeah,
Super down, my friend. Hey, that was a very nice live, bro.
like usual.
I already have to go, but tomorrow, be there for our Thursday practice. Subscribe to our channel. We're going skydiving. Me and Jordan are going skydiving. If you guys are subscribing, we're going
1,000 subs and we go skydiving. Let's go! All right, guys, take it easy. Don't forget to subscribe. Love you guys.
See you tomorrow. Ciao, people.